if you're going to the market for vegetables, you can get like a bag of green beans for 50 kwacha, you can get an aubergine for 50 kwacha, you can get a bag of chilies for 10 kwacha, all things like that. 50 kwacha is about what?
50 kwacha is about...
I think it's 270 kwacha to the pound at the moment, but it varies between 250 270, so 50 kwacha is really not a lot. But then spaghetti, a bag of spaghetti is the equivalent of about £2, £3. Rice can be expensive. It depends where you go, because we know where to get it cheap, which you'll find out when you get here. But at first it can all be very expensive and quite daunting.
But if you stick to the rule that if you eat like a Malawian, so you just eat the local vegetables, it will be cheap, which we found out. Like
we buy the vegetables in the market, but then people living just down the road, they buy tins of tuna, tomato paste, which really adds up to, £5 a tin. It's ridiculous.
Because we were surprised at how expensive Malawi was. When we first came out here, we were expecting it to be really, very really cheap. But
we wouldn't spend any money.
We've both gone over budget because it has been more expensive than we planned on it being. But if you cook well, and if you eat lots of vegetables, things like you can get an entire pumpkin for 50 kwacha.
Yeah, which is nothing.
But then you want a tiny bag of pasta, and you have to pay like 200 or 300. Yeah. So if you stick to eating like Malawi, and it will be cheap.
Meat's expensive. Like a pack of sausages is about 500 kwacha. See, the thing is that 500 kwacha is only £2, but the smallest, the biggest note is 500 kwacha. So when we go to the bank to get money out, if we get the equivalent of £20 out, it all comes out in 500 kwacha notes. And when you give out a 500,
so you feel like
it just goes so fast. And it's only £2, but you can't think, oh, it's only £2 in English money, because it just doesn't work.
Yeah, if you get into that mindset of thinking it's only this much, and in England I would pay more, you're just gonna end up spending way too much money, because you can get things cheaper if you just go to the local markets. And there's a really good market in Tuntama on Wednesdays. It's massive. It's so much fun.
Wednesday market.
Yeah. We went on our first day and we were so overwhelmed, but it's lovely. I love the market. How much is bread? Bread's about...
A loaf of bread?
200, 150.
But it doesn't seem to go stale in Malawi.
No, it doesn't.
Which is good.
And we have a toaster in our house. A toaster is so useful because you don't necessarily always want to eat the bread without toasting it.
Bring things that you think you'll miss, like bags of sweets, and don't eat them all at once like I did when my parents left.
It's difficult not to. But if you are cooking for yourself, things like stock cubes and just the spices that you normally use, that sort of thing is really useful to bring out from England, because if you have to get them here, you have to go down to the long way, and you have to go to the special Western Azungu shops, and it's really expensive there.
Azungu means white person.